A book must be the axe for the frozen sea within us. I am a cage, in search of a bird. Don't bend, don't water it down, don't try to make it logical, don't edit your own soul according to the fashion. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly. Many a book is like a key to unknown chambers within the castle of one's own self. Youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. I am free, and that is why I am lost. I write differently from what I speak differently from what I think differently from the way I ought to think, and so it all proceeds into deepest darkness. I cannot make you understand. I cannot make anyone understand what is happening inside me. I cannot even explain it to myself. A first sign of the beginning of understanding is the wish to die. The meaning of life is that it stops. All language is but a poor translation. A non-writing writer is a monster courting insanity. Slept, awoke, miserable life. By believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. Books are a narcotic. I have the true feeling of myself only when I am unbearably unhappy. Paths are made by walking. I think we ought to read only the kind of books that wound and stab us. It's only because of their stupidity that they're able to be so sure of themselves. Writing is utter solitude, the descent into the cold abyss of oneself. There is an infinite amount of hope in the universe, but not for us. I have spent all my life resisting the desire to end it. He is terribly afraid of dying because he hasn't yet lived. I usually solve problems by letting them devour me. I am in chains. Don't touch my chains. Now I can look at you in peace. I don't eat you anymore. I miss you deeply, unfathomably, senselessly, terribly. Love is that you are the knife which I plunge into myself. I do not speak as I think, I do not think as I should, and so it all goes on in helpless darkness. Better to have, and not need, than to need, and not have. I'm tired, can't think of anything and want only to lay my face in your lap, feel your hand on my head and remain like that through all eternity. You are at once both the quiet and the confusion of my heart. As Gregor Samsa awoke one morning from uneasy dreams, he found himself transformed in his bed into a gigantic insect. In man's struggle against the world, bet on the world. Beyond a certain point there is no return. This point has to be reached. You are the knife I turn inside myself, that is love. That, my dear, is love. It would have been so pointless to kill himself that, even if he had wanted to, the pointlessness would have made him unable. Love is a drama of contradictions. We photograph things in order to drive them out of our minds. My stories are a way of shutting my eyes. First impressions are always unreliable. Written kisses don't reach their destination, rather they are drunk on the way by the ghosts. How about if I sleep a little bit longer, and forget all this nonsense? From a certain point onward there is no longer any turning back. That is the point that must be reached. Just think how many thoughts a blanket smothers while one lies alone in bed, and how many unhappy dreams it keeps warm. You are free, and that is why you are lost. All I am is literature, and I am not able or willing to be anything else. You are at once both the quiet and the confusion of my heart. Imagine my heartbeat when you are in this state. My guiding principle is this: guilt is never to be doubted. Was he an animal that music could move him, so he felt as if the way to the unknown nourishment he longed for were coming to light? Sleep is the most innocent creature there. Isn't a sleepless man the most guilty? Logic may indeed be unshakable, but it cannot withstand a man who is determined to live. I have hardly anything in common with myself, and should stand very quietly in a corner, content that I can breathe. I can love only what I can place so high above me that I cannot reach it. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. There are two cardinal sins from which all others spring: impatience and laziness. I'm doing badly, I'm doing well, whichever you prefer. For myself I am too heavy, and for you too light. Evil is whatever distracts. Believing in progress does not mean believing that any progress has yet been made. What if I slept a little more, and forgot about all this nonsense? You can choose to be free, but it's the last decision you'll ever make. Even if no salvation should come, I want to be worthy of it at every moment.